This year, Kazakhstan will be the first country in the Central Asian region to host one of the most important events in the energy sector. The 7th Youth Forum, Energy Transition, Dialogue of Generations, will be held under the auspices of the World Petroleum Council in the Kazakh British Technical University.
The 7th Youth Forum of the World Petroleum Council is going to be next September in Almaty, Kazakhstan. It will be from 29th of September to 2nd of October, and it's going to be a wonderful event, so I invite you to be there. The theme that we have selected is energy transition. Dialogue with generations is very appropriate because it's exactly what we are going to do, to have a good dialogue between juniors, young professionals and seniors on the industry, facing all the key issues for the future in our industry. The program is going to be wonderful. We are going to have top speakers from the leaders from the industry and also young professionals, and they're going to discuss from different point of view what is going to happen in the future of our industry. So it's important for you to be there.
One of the main events on the oil and gas agenda is the 7th Youth Forum, which is held once every 3 years. And for the first time, it will be held in Kazakhstan at the Kazakh British Technical University. I think that it is primarily an image-building event for the university. On the other hand, any technological progress requires human resources. Therefore, this means consolidation of efforts. Any doctoral candidate or student will get good experience and knowledge after talking to leading experts from companies, which will enable them to work longer in this area. The World Petroleum Council is one of the oldest and most respected industry associations in the world. The organization is accredited to the UN, unites 59 countries of the world, which account for over 95% of the global production and consumption of oil and gas. The history of the WPC began with the first Petroleum Congress held in 1933 and organized thanks to the enthusiasm of Mr. Thomas Dewhurst, then president of the London Institute of Petroleum Technology. By that time, the rapidly developing petroleum industry felt the need to create conditions for the international exchange of scientific and technical information and cooperation. Over the almost 90-year history, the discussion platform of the WPC provided opportunities to discuss and comprehend the most important global events, such as World War II, as an instrument of the struggle for energy resources, the concerns of the oil community regarding the nationalization of the oil and gas industries in Venezuela and Iran, the growing energy influence of the Middle East. Discussions within the framework of the WPC preceded the creation of OPEC in 1960, which included the world's largest producing countries. The topic of nuclear energy as a promising source of energy was first raised by the participants of the World Petroleum Council. The WPC provided an opportunity to analyze the ongoing decline in the system of administrative oil pricing and the transition to market-based methods of oil trading. The 1990s became a period of discussion of global geopolitical changes associated with the end of the Cold War and the collapse of the USSR, and the beginning of the 21st century opened a new page for the organization. The participants drew attention to alternative energy sources, environmental protection, and various aspects of social responsibility. The issue of energy transition has been placed on the global agenda. Thus, over the past decades, the WPC analyzed and reflected at each stage a huge number of factors: political, economic, social, environmental, that influence the processes taking place in the oil and energy industries. Kazakhstan joined the WPC in 1997. After 10 years, the Kazakhstan National Committee was reintroduced by the Kaz Energy Association, which gave ample opportunities for Kazakhstani professionals and experts to participate in the global energy discussion. Along with the work within the framework of the WPC, Kaz Energy, together with the association members, has been carrying out systematic work to support Kazakhstani youth for 15 years. It includes not only various competitions, but also grants for higher education.
2015 года это очередной наш большой социальный
Since 2015, we have been carrying out our large social project where the association has been acting as a working body for the selection of candidates for training at the expense of subsoil users under the Kashagan and Karachaganak production sharing agreements. During the 7 years of existence of this program, about 9,000 applications have been considered. This is a huge job. More than 4,000 grants have been paid for students of universities and colleges in recent years. Of this number of grants, more than 55% were awarded to students from low-income, socially vulnerable families. Kazakhstan's largest oil and gas company, Tengizchevroil, fully supports the steps taken by the government of the country and the global community to develop young professionals. TCO employs about 150 graduates of Kazakhstan universities. Over the years of cooperation with the government of our country, the foreign investor has implemented a number of social projects. The company provides not only a workplace, but also opportunities for learning new skills in a variety of areas.
More than 100 students who have completed an internship at TCO have become full-time employees and continue to contribute to the company, industry, and to the country. And to support that journey and early career development, in the first 5 years at TCO, employees can participate in a competency-based development program called Horizons. It is a fantastic opportunity to gain experience in multiple areas through different role rotations in different facilities from across the world. And apart from that, TCO has invested over $87 million in training, certified programs, and other educational projects with a focus on finding and developing high potential employees, talent, and future leaders. We believe that it's our responsibility to promote the merits of the oil and gas industry among the leaders of tomorrow.
Non-standard creative thinking, young people's receptivity to new challenges, and their strong innovative potential are vital to the future of the oil industry. Already today, Kazakhstani professional youth are increasingly making themselves known both at the global discussion platforms and in major oil and gas companies. Participation of boys and girls in the Almaty Youth Forum indicates that today the energy future is in good hands of young professionals. The WPC pays considerable attention to strengthening contacts with young professionals from participating countries. For this purpose, the Youth Committee of the organization holds the Youth Forum. The event gives participants the opportunity to strengthen interaction and build contacts between young professionals and world leaders in the oil and gas sector, share experience in solving strategic energy problems. The Kazakhstan Youth Committee of the WPC takes an active part in the organization and development of the forum. For me, just like for other students, the discussion platform plays an important role in acquiring new information and exchanging opinions with leading experts and top managers of the world's leading oil companies. This knowledge may be needed in the future profession or at production site. In the fall, Almaty will host the 7th Youth Forum of the WPC, which will be held within the walls of my home university. We are looking forward to welcoming the participants from all countries, primarily to meet each other in person. I hope that my peers will receive a lot of necessary information from the content-rich forum program, and they will also visit this beautiful city in Central Asia, the city of Almaty. This year's event, the 7th WPC Youth Forum, will contribute to the work and development of the World Petroleum Council and its youth wing. The event's organizer is the Kazakhstan National Committee. The central theme of the Almaty Forum will be the dialogue between generations in the context of the global energy transition. According to one of the most famous and successful innovators in the world, Elon Musk, the transition to sustainable energy and a sustainable economy is one of the biggest problems the world has ever faced, and it will take several decades to solve it. Today, world politicians and entrepreneurs already suggest their solutions for the global climate future. The president of Kazakhstan, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, has repeatedly spoken out in support of the energy transition. He noted that the growing climate crisis remains one of the greatest challenges of our time, and therefore, Despite the significant dependence on national resources, Kazakhstan was among the first 100 countries to announce the achievement of carbon neutrality by the middle of the century, which should be done taking into account the increasing global consumption of carbon raw materials, which are in demand in almost all spheres of our life. Discussion on ways to achieve a carbon-neutral future and the role of the oil and gas industry in the new realities on the sidelines of the 7th Youth Forum in Almaty will contribute to resolving issues on the global energy agenda.
It is very interesting to see how the energy industry is learning to balance that. On some hands, we have assets that require 24-hour support and maintenance. In the other case, we also have jobs that require a lot of thought and strategy that can be more remote work and separated. In addition to that, regardless of what the job is, we have new technologies such as unmanned systems and remote sensing capabilities that have made the industry safer and allowed us to understand more information in real time. And so what does this mean for how we work? What does this mean for how we interact with local communities? And what does that mean for how we recruit and train the next generation of scientists, of leaders, of thinkers, of business analysts, of people bringing about the sustainable energy future? I'm very excited to see that these conversations are represented in some ways in the schedule, and very much look forward to hearing the outcomes of these discussions.
A new strategy for the development of the World Petroleum Council will be adopted following the results of the forum. It will take into account the latest trends in the global energy agenda, the world community's focus on the global transformation of energy systems, key areas of development of the world community in the context of global energy changes. The discussion that began in Kazakhstan will continue in 2023 in the Canadian oil capital, the city of Calgary, that will host the 24th World Petroleum Congress.
Canada is excited to participate in the 7th WPC Youth Forum being held in Almaty, Kazakhstan. This year's theme, Energy Transition, Dialogue of Generations, is especially topical as the world transitions to cleaner, less carbon-intensive energy sources. Events like the Youth Forum are extremely important because it provides young individuals a platform to share their ideas and influence decision-making that support a more sustainable future. The forum will address concepts like innovation and sustainability from a global perspective. We look forward to attending this year's Youth Forum, and we hope to see everyone in Calgary for the WPC Congress next September from the 17th to the 21st.
You have a special task here, and you have the chance to tell people that our industry is a good industry for all the people. And so this is a reason. There are a few reasons for you to be there in Almaty, and I hope to see you all there in September this year. So you are very welcome to be there. It will be wonderful to listen to you.
As a former rector who headed one of our technical universities, I believe that we have nice young people who are focused on the future and want to have knowledge and competencies, the world of competencies in which we live, and we must support and help our youth.